Hello, I'm Ben Harrington. I'm the CEO of the Mental Health Association of East Tennessee. And folks often ask us about early intervention with mental health and what we're doing about it. Well, I can tell you we're doing a lot. Early intervention with regards to mental illness or mental health conditions is really vital because 50% of everybody with a mental health condition will have had their very first symptoms start sometime before age 14. 75% of folks will have had their symptoms start by age 24. Now, those numbers are impressive, but the absolutely scary thing is this: most individuals have their symptoms start early, and then they experience year after year of untreated, unrecognized episodes of depression and anxiety, bipolar disorder, etc., before they're ever recognized and they can start treatment. So think about that. Symptoms start early, then a young person has to wait a decade before they can enter treatment. Now, we would never contemplate this with diabetes or cancer or heart disease. So, why on earth is delaying treatment acceptable when it comes to mental health? And that, my friends, tells you exactly why the Mental Health Association of East Tennessee is so focused on early intervention with regards to mental illness.
Early intervention is very important. The earlier we can intervene, the earlier we can make a difference in a child's life. So, we know that untreated mental health issues have been linked to higher dropout rates, higher lifetime disability. And that's not saying if we intervene 10 years after symptoms begin that nothing can be done. We absolutely can address those. But the sooner we intervene in a child's life, the sooner it can make a difference. And that is what the Mental Health Association of East Tennessee tries to do. We try to intervene earlier so we can make a bigger long-term difference. And when we reach that point where we've met someone later in that time, we're still going to help them, because it doesn't matter when you reach someone, you can still make a difference. Most people wait 10 years to get help after they begin experiencing symptoms of their mental illness. In 10 years, a lot can go wrong. Someone can lose their job, lose relationships. For children, it can make a lifetime of difference. If they end up dropping out of school, if they end up losing jobs, some of those things can follow you for your entire life. So that is why the Mental Health Association intervenes early. Because when we intervene early, we can avoid some of those things.
We started a little program in fall of 2000 called Mental Health 101, and it is designed to teach young people, students in schools, about the symptoms of mental illness and the symptoms of suicidal behaviors so we can act early before things get a whole lot worse. Now, I say act early, and there's a reason for this. If we wait a year before ever getting help, 5 years, 10 years before ever getting help, guess what? A very treatable, mild mental health condition might become a whole lot worse and become a quite severe and hard to treat mental health condition. I wouldn't want it with my kids. You wouldn't want it with your kids. And that's why Mental Health 101 is here, so that we can intervene early and help folks get treatment earlier and so they can get on their road to recovery.
Mental Health 101 is great because we meet kids where they are. Going into middle and high schools, and we're giving students the tools they need to advocate for themselves. Unfortunately, teenagers, they feel like a lot of their life is out of control. They don't feel like they have a lot of power. But the reality is they do have power and they do have control over what happens to their mental health. They may or may not be able to get treatment from a licensed professional, but that doesn't mean they can't do anything. And so when we go into schools, we talk to students about how to help themselves, how to advocate for themselves, how to take care of themselves, and how to have those conversations with their parents, letting them know, I'm not doing well right now. I want to do something about it, so that we can avoid some of those lifelong issues that come with untreated mental illness. And so that's middle school. That is, ninth grade. That is a very pivotal time in someone's life. And so that's why we do what we do. That's why we go in and give that information. Because kids, they aren't necessarily getting truthful information about mental health. There's a lot of word of mouth, there's a lot of internet content. So we want to make sure they have accurate information and they're able to take that information and weave it into their lives so it can make a difference.